Hi, my name is Troy Gawardi, and this is Mostly Awesome Entertainment. With the success of Transformers Rise of the Beast, we now confirm that a G.I. Joe and Transformers movie is happening. What if I told you guys that I had the perfect fan cast for all the characters of the G.I. Joe and Transformers universe? Okay, for the first man on the list is Conrad S. Hauser, codenamed Duke, the leader of the G.I. Joe team. Originally, Duke was played by Channing Tatum, but I just think to this. What if Chris Evans plays Duke? Chris Evans is known for movies like Captain America in the MCU. Can you imagine if we hear Duke saying, "I can do this all day"? Next up is the Lord Commander Flint, and I'm thinking John Krasinski can play Duke. Imagine Jim Halpert can play Flint. I mean, John Krasinski is funny, and Flint, he's one of the best characters of the series. Imagine Jim Halpert playing Flint. Next up is the hottie Scarlet, and honestly, I'm thinking Scarlett Johansson can play Scarlet. Because she played the Black Widow of the MCU. She has that Scarlet personality, and she knows how to fight. Now for my Uncle Craig's favorite, Shipwreck. I heard fan casting that Pedro Pascal played Shipwreck, but I've looked at him and I go, hang on, I know the man, Chris Pratt. Because can you imagine if we see Shipwreck dancing to Come and Get Your Love? Now for his parent sidekick, Polly, I feel like Alan Tudyk can play him. I mean, this guy does tons of Disney animal voices, like Hey Hey the Chicken, and many more. Now for Snake Eyes on the list, originally Wade Parks played him in the live-action movies, but I like to see Henry Gordon come back to play him in this upcoming reboot. If you guys have not seen the solo Snake Eyes film that came out 2 years ago, I highly recommend it. Very surprising, super action film. Now for the big boy on the list, Roadblock. I know you do not want to see Dwayne The Rock Johnson come back, but I looked at him and this man looks like Terry Crews. You know him from Brooklyn Nine-Nine as Sergeant Terry Jeffords, The Longest Yard as Cheeseburger Eddie, and Hot Hell Caesar from The Expendables. If he's in it, he got the shakes that will make you quake. He got the fries that will cross your eyes. He got the burgers to just got the burgers. Next up is the man Ace. I just think that the brilliant fan cast the world has ever offered. I agree if they cast Tom Cruise. You know him from Mission Impossible, Days of Thunder, Top Gun franchise, the Top Gun movies, Last Samurai, and many, many more. Now for the leading man on the list, General Hawk, I feel like John Hamm can play him. Most recently known as Psycho. What was his name again?
From Top Gun?
Yeah.
He was the Admiral in Top Gun.
The Admiral in Top Gun Maverick, who I say people will be perfect as well. Now for Rock and Roll, I feel like they'll cast Matt Barr from Blood and Treasure. You guys have not seen Blood and Treasure? I highly recommend that you go watch Blood and Treasure right now. Now for the Ruin and Turn and Shurious Man in the Old West Wild Bill, I agree if Matthew McConaughey comes to cast. I mean, Matthew McConaughey, first of all, he is funny. And Wild Bill, he is the craziest Ruin Turn show cowboy in the Old West. Next up is for the dog tag is Mud, and I'm thinking Pedro and I look at this man, and I just think of something. Pedro Pascal, it's perfect, because you know him from movies like The Mandalorian, The Last of Us, Game of Thrones, and many, many good movies. If he's in it, he'll bring you in warm, the audience in warm, or he will bring the audience in cold. Next up is my mom's favorite Lady James, so I think Jessica McName can play her. Most recently known in Mortal Kombat in the rebooted 2021's Mortal Kombat. She looks like her, acts like her, and definitely knows how to kick some butt. Next up is the really big boy on the list, Gunho, who I think Alan Rickson could be perfect. I mean, this man's from Jack Reacher in the Reacher series. If you have not seen Reacher, go watch it. Very entertaining series. Next up, the remake on the wish, Cobra Commander. Sadly, G.I. Joe fans of all, what was his name again? Lawton passed away. But I just think of him, and I just think of something. What if Mark Hamill played Cobra Commander? I mean, he played Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. He voices Joker from the Batman anime series and many more. Well, I know Mark Hamill has a rough time about his good friend Kevin Conroy passed away 2 years ago, so rest in peace, The Dark Knight, because he was vengeance. He is the Knight. He is Batman. Next up is Cobra Commander's best friend of all, Destro. And I'm thinking Vin Diesel could be perfect. You know him from Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy and the Fast and the Furious franchise is Dominic Moreno. If it's about family, it's all about family. Next up is the wee evil Baroness, who I feel like this is going to be a hard cast. So I feel like Zoe Saldana can play her, most recently known as Gamora in the MCU. Imagine she says, I'm going to die with the biggest terrorist leaders in the galaxy. Next up is going to be Storm Shadow, and I feel like, what's his name again, Dad?
Andrew Koji.
Andrew Koji can play him. He played Storm Shadow in 2021 Snake Eyes. I feel like this could be like reading up the Snake Eyes universe of the series. Okay, for Optimus Prime, we're going to keep Peter Cullen because I think there's no one perfect to play him. Alright, now moving on to the Autobot Prowl. I feel like this is a hard cast. Just imagine the voice for a second. Andy Samberg. Andy Samberg is hilarious in movies and shows like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and SNL. I feel like we can have a full Andy Samberg fandom show up to see this cinematic universe. Now for the Man on the Wish Trailbreaker, I think this is going to go for Craig Robinson. You know him from the Hot Tub Time Machine and Brooklyn Nine-Nine as Doug Judy. You know Rosa. Now for the Man on the Wish Jazz, I am having a hard time coming up with the voice. And I just think, maybe this was a good idea. Will Smith, it's perfect. I mean, Will Smith knocked it out of the park as Genie in Aladdin in 2019's Aladdin. Okay, for Megatron the Wish, since we did not meet him in Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast, I have a feeling we might show up. For Megatron, I want to see Frank Welker return because I repeat Hasbro, do not recast Megatron. Frank Welker is obviously the best Megatron in this universe. Now for Soundwave, I feel like Corey Burton can return to voice them. Like, he voiced Soundwave in the 1980s animated series. We need to hear that Soundwave voice again. Rumble, go get me the soda. Razor Beak, go get me the popcorn. Ravage, go get me the audience. And Frenzy, go get me the ice cream. Now for Starscream on the list, I know people saying Mark Hamill will do Starscream, but I just realized something. What if he be voiced by Ewan McGregor, most recently known as Obi-Wan from the MCU? Imagine he pops up and he'll say, "Hello there!" Now for his brothers on the list, we're going to start off with Thundercracker, and I feel like Benedict Cumberbatch can play him, most recently known as Doctor Strange in the MCU. Now that was part 1 of my Fancast. If you like it, please leave a like, subscribe, and always leave a comment. Yo, Joe!